Drive continues, talking a little Aztec baseball with the head Aztec himself, one of the greatest ever, not only for Major League Baseball, but to come out of the Aztec program. Head coach Tony Gwynn joins us here on Extra Sports 1360. T, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Good, not too shabby weekend of baseball going into Fowler Park at USD, all the hoopla surrounding the opening of that brand new, beautiful facility and coming out of there with 3 wins. Nice way to get the season underway, huh?
Yeah, no kidding. Extremely proud of these guys. They really, kept their focus. The focus was going over there and trying to execute, trying to do some things right. I think we got a lot of room for improvement, but overall, we put some runs on the board. I thought we pitched well enough. I think our pitching's going to get better. We played really good defense. I think we only made 1 error, I believe. So, as a coach, you feel really good about the way they kept their composure because the last 2 games, it got tight in the 9th inning, and yet we found a way to get it done. So, it's a good start for us, but we got a long way to go. So, our goal, starting today is to keep trying to improve, keep trying to get better, and hopefully we can do that.
Tony, you must have seen some pretty impressive things from Bubba Derby, the freshman, to not only recognize him as your closer as the season begins, but then he got himself out of a jam Saturday night. Sunday was remarkable. Bases loaded, bottom of the 9th. You guys were up by 2. He comes in and strikes out the side. Tell us about Bubba.
Well, Bubba Derby is a freshman, and that's the only thing that's young about him, really. I mean, his mentality is that of a junior or senior. Totally gets his role, totally gets his importance to our club. And really, he's shown that right from the start of school this year. I mean, we're kind of lucky this year. We've kind of got some depth, and so bringing him in as a freshman, we had to kind of decide whether we wanted him to be a starter or we wanted him to be a guy coming out of the bullpen, and we finally kind of sat down a week before the opener and said, hey, let's make Bubba Derby our closer. And Justin Hepner, the guy who set up for him the inning before, was our closer last year. So it wasn't an easy decision. It was, it was one that we really had to debate a little bit and talk about. But, I think what you saw this weekend is why we decided, that he probably best suits our team needs as the closer. He's just fearless. He isn't afraid to throw the breaking ball, the off-speed pitch behind in the count. He's got good enough velocity on the fastball where he can pitch both halves of the plate. And he doesn't get rattled. That was, I know I was sweating BBs even bringing him into the game on Sunday because, Hepner rolled through the 8th inning, and I just thought, well, maybe we'll just leave Hepner out there and let him close. And USD got the bases loaded, and we bring in Derby, and he was ahead of each hitter 0-2. He didn't even, and he did it a variety of different ways. And that's the thing that stands out for you is that, he's fearless. He's not afraid to throw any of his pitches at any time in the count, and he got good velocity, good location, good mentality, and boy, what a job he did for us this weekend.
Tony Gwynn talking some Aztec baseball with us here on Extra Sports 1360. Tony, that stadium that has your name affixed to it is not too shabby. It's considered one of the tops in the United States. What'd you make of Fowler Park, though?
I loved it. I thought it was outstanding. Just being down on the field, the plane service was outstanding, and plenty of dugout space. As a visiting team, you're looking for 2 things. You're looking for space in your dugout and a restroom. We had both. And so, as compared to the years before where you had to go behind the USD dugout and go through the fans to get to the restroom, it was great having it in the dugout. But, the amenities were outstanding. I mean, the permanent seats and the little field over there on the left field side, it's going to be, and it's going to get better, too. They rushed to get it ready so that they could start the season there. So I'm sure there's little things that they're going to tweak. I didn't get a chance to see the locker room and the other things, but I was watching the disc of the game yesterday, and it's all outstanding. And and for Rich, I think it's going to be what he dreams about is having a place where he could host. He's been to the regionals like 7-8 times and has never had the chance to host at his own place. He hosted here at San Diego State one time, but, that's what you dream about is having a place like that because, it helps you recruiting, it helps you, it helps your budget line, the bottom line on your budget number, it's going to be. I think it's going to be great. It's great to have two parks, two facilities in San Diego that could host a regional, and I'm sure being able to play night games helps you too. You don't have to schedule all your games during the day. So now you got a little bit of flexibility with your schedule. So it's going to work out great for them.
Tony, if you were there, any fans were there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if you were walking the concourse, you may have bumped into someone with a stopwatch. I mean, the scouts were out. There was like a herd when Chris Bryant, when Chris Bryant would come to home plate, you could see a herd move their way to the first baseline. Yeah. But another guy that's garnered a lot of attention, offensive player on your side, who does Greg Allen remind you of? Anyone that you ever played with, or maybe even big leaguer now that you see very similar tool set in your young switch hitter?
I was just talking about that this morning. He reminds me of two guys who played for me here at San Diego State, Quentin Berry with the Detroit Tigers, and my son, Tony Jr. He's a skilled defender. He's got a great arm. The only difference is he's a switch hitter, and he's coming on. He's going to really be a good player, I think. 4.0 student. He's got that whatever that it quality is. He's got it. He understands the game. He understands himself and what he needs to be doing, and you saw a glimpse of it this weekend. I mean, he was all over the place, making plays. Yeah, a couple of two-strike knocks to drive-in runs. He scored. I don't know how many runs he scored. It seems like he was scoring a lot, but he's a good hitter, and that's the thing that I really like about him is that he's a switch hitter who hits the ball to all fields and is not afraid to hit down in the count. And this weekend he was down in the count a few times and still managed to square something up and put it in play and get on base and make some things happen for us.
Tony, when people look at your baseball team this year, are they going to notice power first, pitching first, maybe acumen and speed on the base paths? What do people look at first?
I hope you notice all of that, because I think we have all of that. Our pitching depth is deeper than it's been in a while. We are not afraid to run the bases. We're gonna run the bases. We're gonna go first and third and second to home. We're gonna steal some bases. I think the thing that you probably won't notice is how good a defensive team I think we are. We got three catchers who all can catch and throw. Up the middle with Potter at short and Zier at second. They're experienced guys. Allen in center. So the middle of the diamond, I think, defensively is going to be very good. We got some arms in the bullpen that could do some things. Witness what happened here this past weekend. And the biggest thing I'm going to preach to these guys today is that we just got to go play. That's all. We can't worry about because early before this last series. All the talk was of USD and their new ballpark and all of that. So,
Tony, Major League Baseball, fresh upon us. It's about to really get started. Spring training. You were there so many years. Do you miss it? Do you reflect at this time at all?
I don't. Honestly, I don't. I don't miss packing up the truck and driving over to Peoria and I think if there's one thing I miss is that anticipation part, when you get ready to go and then you go and then you get there and you start working and it's like 2 days in, it's like, oh man, we got 45 more days of spring training. I kind of miss the anticipation, but I love what I'm doing now. These guys ask me about that all the time because, we get a bunch of pro guys here during the off season that come out here to work out, and they talk about, hey, I'm going to spring training. And the guys ask me all the time, what is that feeling like? It's when you're playing, you look forward to going. You look forward to getting back to work. As a fan now, I look forward for them to get back to work. It's kind of the same thing, only I don't have to go do it. So I'm looking forward to the season, when the season starts, because we got a good young team, we got some good young players, and there's something about young guys because they're, you really don't know what to expect as a fan. Where having been on that side and gone through what they've gone through, anything can happen. Nobody expected us to play like we did this weekend, and our guys believed that they could do that. And when you start believing that you can be successful, anything can happen.
Tony, you'll be part of some Padres broadcasts again this year. What about the fences coming in? Will it make it that big of a difference?
I hope it will in the mentality part of it. Because I think before, where the fences were, guys felt like they could put a good swing on it, and it wouldn't get out of the ballpark. So hopefully that part of the mental part of it will change, and guys won't be over swinging now. Guys will just go up there and get a good pitch to hit and take a good swing. The problem is the opposition has the same. They can do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the lessons that they've learned here, at the second half of last year, they just carry over with them, because Chase Hadley is a great example of that. I think he had 9 homers and 38 RBIs at the All-Star break, and the second half he was as good as anybody in Major League Baseball. So when you can just go up there and take your swing and not have to feel like you got to overswing, I'm hoping that's where the dividends will pay off for them.
Get to GoAztecs.com, check out the baseball schedule, and get your tickets. Make sure you get up there and support the Red and Black and our guest right here, Tony Gwynn. T, as always, appreciate the time.
All right, guys.
Congratulations to the start of the season. Continued success.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
There you go, Tony Gwynn, visiting with us.
They played 27 innings of really fantastic baseball against one of the top teams in the country in University of San Diego. Tony should be very, very proud of that team. And maybe most importantly, because on the broadcast I compared the turnover ratio in the NFL to errors. Mm-hmm. You can almost look on the scoreboard and see the team making the most errors a lot of times is a loser.
I could see that comparison.
1 error in 27 innings.
Not too
for
shabby.
your first weekend to really get out there and play. Congrats, Tony Gwynn.
Thanks again to Tony Gwynn. Drive continues after this.
On Extra Sports 1360.